art and character designs provided by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Want to be first to have access to early artwork, concept sketches, exclusive art that can't be seen anywhere else? Then support Demon Artie over on her Patreon. Link in description below. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Episode 9 of the Owl House, Something Gained, Someone Framed. What, was anyone framed in this episode? It's so weird. I guess the only framing was when Gus pulled the fire alarm and he got them both in trouble, and that is this other dude. That's the only framing, because Luz did all those bad things when she was there. So I'm not understanding that the title doesn't make any sense. But overall, I don't know how to feel about this episode, because I do like some of the stuff, and the ending's really cool. The best part of the whole episode is the last 10 seconds, but everything else leading up to it, I'm just finding a lot of problems with it. It just doesn't, they only have one writer, thank God, and there's still 4 or 5 people on the story, but only one actual writer, which is awesome. But this episode is just, it's kind of a mess. Maybe I'll come to a conclusion at the end of the review, but it opens up and we're at school, the human appreciation thing that Gus runs, and he has his little crown, and I don't know. You can tell that he really likes this position because he's in a position of power. He's in a position of authority. So he really likes this. And he's showing off some human things, and he's obviously wrong. Oh, look, this cheese grater's a nail clipper, and this is this. They're just wrong. He's close, because there's a paper clip, and then he's talking about how I can hold documents, stuff, which is true, but then he flicks it, it's the sound of the human ocean. It's he's getting some things right, but it's mostly wrong. Some other kid, I guess he's a new member, is oh yeah, blah blah blah, how do you know this stuff's real, this stuff's fake? At my old school, I'm oh, here we go, we got this jerk character guy, and I don't like him. They do a weird thing mid-episode where I'm that subverted my expectations, but then they double back on it, and it's ugh, why couldn't they just stuck with that storyline? But I don't know. So he's basically saying that, when at my old school we had real human stuff. He has a crazy name, Math Malamule. God, jeez. Anyone who watches my reviews knows I have a horrible time with names, so I'm never gonna get this kid's name right, because it's not even a real name. I'm just call him Matt for short. Jeez, goodness. But he's just this, typical jerk. We already had Amity. We already have her for Luz, so now he has to have a rival. Why? Ugh. But he's being a jerk. He knocks over all the his human things, which there are real human objects. He just gets all the information wrong. So he brings out his own stuff, and it's just stuff that he made. This is a cell phone, and all this stuff is fake. It's a shoe made out of stuff. It's funny how he got the item correct, but the item itself is fake. So if they worked together, they would actually get a lot of things right. Because I'm assuming this kid is actually smart, this Matt kid, but he's kind of a jerk and kind of an ass. Whatever. But so the other members, this little goat guy, he's kind of cute. But they're oh, wow, this is great. I want to touch it. But I guess there's no touching rules. But here's the thing. But Gus is touching everything. So he needs to be a little bit more open with the rules, a little more, I'm not saying hands-on with stuff, but it's almost look at me, I'm running the show, everyone listen to me. It needs to be more of a group effort instead of I'm the king, and get rid of a stupid crown. But he's a kid. He's still, they say that he skipped some grades, so he's probably 9 or 10 years old. But the other members of they're this stuff is so cool, I can't believe it, it's great. So this guy's trying to, I don't know, cause a coup amongst the Human Appreciation Club, and he wants to be president. So I'm okay, this kid literally just joined today, and he's already jumping to this next level of kicking freaking the king out, and he's gonna take the place as president. So he's Gus knows this stuff is fake, and he's how do you know? It's my word versus your word. And then everyone's oh no, I don't know, I can I trust Gus?
You're afraid of getting kicked out of office. It's your word versus mine.
I don't know what to believe in anymore.
My faith in Gus has been broken!
You've known Gus for how long? I don't know how long they've known him, but I'm assuming it's been a while. And just this kid's accusation is enough for these other students to stop believing in their friend. See, it's stuff like that just drives me nuts, because it's it doesn't make any sense. They shouldn't be this dumb. But they're so gullible and dumb. He's like, well, I'm gonna bring a real human, because he looks at the picture of Luz, and it's like one where she was like, you know, someone took it's like a paparazzi photo, like her hands up and everything, her eyeballs all jacked up. That's pretty funny. He's like, I'm gonna bring a real human, and that other guy's like, oh crap, if he brings a real human, I'm screwed. But he's like, oh yeah, you're never gonna bring her here or whatever, because remember, she was kicked out, she was banned for all that crap that she did, and they never really got in trouble, but I guess she got banned, which is good. Get back to Ida, and they're talking about the school and everything, and this is the someone explain this to me. I know I get people who will comment pages worth of trying to explain the silliness in this show, and it's like, okay, but explain this to me. Why didn't Gus just bring them to the Owl House to meet the human? Why did he have to bring her to the school? Why? Was there a particular reason why he had to do that? Couldn't they just meet up somewhere? Oh, I have the human, we're going to meet at this, you know, whatever restaurant. We can, you know, talk with her and ask her all the questions about humans. Why did he have to bring her to the school? I can't wait for you guys to answer that one, but we all know that Ida hates the school. She hates the idea of school and then everything about it. And I like how Luz is like, hey, you should let me, you know, kind of like, I liked it. It was cool there. I wanted the little bit of time that she was there, I really liked it. But it's kind of... Ida, maybe if you were actually teaching Luz anything, she's taught her nothing. She learned that light spell on her own. So, I don't get it. Ida, she's not even a student. She's like your freaking indentured servant. She just has her like working her stupid stand to sell stuff. I hate this. I hate this so much, because it would have been so cool for her to actually be a real teacher, and she just refuses to do it because, I don't know, she's lazy, doesn't care. So they kind of have like this kind of back and forth kind of fight. Then King's like, oh, fight, like actually have a fight. Like, yeah, okay, sure, King. They're gonna beat the crap out of each other. But we get some pretty funny gags and funny little jokes here. She's like, oh, you don't want to get on the t-shirt order? You're part of my school.
First off, it's the bad girl coven. And second off, I guess you don't want in on the t-shirt order, huh?
And it's the bad girl coven. And she's like, I don't know. It was drawn by like a 5-year-old. It's hilarious. I would wear one of these shirts. But she's like, no, I want to really learn stuff. And it'd be really cool for me to actually go to school because, you know, you don't teach me nothing. So she's like, forget it. I'm out of here. You know, school's stupid. And she just kind of storms out. So Luz is like, well, I'm not learning magic here. I can't go to the school to learn magic. And she's just kind of like down. But then Gus is like, hey, you can come to I want you to come to his stupid human appreciation thing. But there's a ban. She's like, oh, I use my club presidential powers to get the ban lifted and you can come back. So he like straight up lies to her. But again, I reference myself. Why didn't he just bring the kids here? I can't possibly think of a reason why that was not an option. Whatever. But Lucy's like, oh, awesome, sweet. I can go back to the school and you did this for me. Oh, you're a great friend. And I'm thinking to myself, Gus, how did you think this was going to work out? I know he's a kid, so he doesn't think things all the way through, but he's supposed to be kind of smart, right? How in the world was this going to work out? So he's all happy that he did this, and then Hootie's like, oh, he's there, so he's like talking to himself, and he's like, oh yeah, like he just like blurts in and it scares the hell out of him. I thought that was hilarious.
You did it, Gus! You did it, Gus. You're the smartest. You're the best.
Sweet moves, little dude!
Ah! I always forget you're there!
I forget I'm here too!
So he goes and tells Willow about it, and Willow's like, that's a really stupid idea. You're going to get in so much trouble. You're going to get her in trouble. You're going to get you in trouble. But he's like, oh, I panicked, and I needed her to come to my stupid club, and da-da-da. And she's like, this is no good. What are you going to do? There's wanted posters everywhere. But I guess he went and got them all. But there's Luz. She's here at school. So I'm assuming this is the next day. And he's like, oh, I'm going to hide her. Like he gave her little cowl, to kind of hide her ears. So, because I brought this up in my Discord. Are the people the boing owls? Are they elves? Look at their pointy ears. I mean, that's not the elves aren't their only race of mystical beings with pointy ears, but are they? Are they just called something else? Whatever. They didn't call them witchlings. So everyone who's born here is a witch, like no matter what. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to explain this kind of stuff. But she's super happy to be there, and she's like, "Oh, cool! I'm back in the school and everything." But she got lied to, and Luz is an easy person to lie to because she believes in everything, especially if you're like her friend. We got a little watch that bites you, and that's the alarm. Like, oh, jeez. I actually like this. This is the parts of the stuff I like. Ida's like talking to herself, but I guess she's talking to Hootie, and she's like, I hate school. The school's gonna crush any creativity, and it's gonna be, it just spits out mush. And Hootie's talking, but he's a low intelligent door, and he's like, I eat bugs and make them into mush. Like he's just constantly like, he doesn't even understand what she's talking about. But Ida's feeling bad, and she's like, Luce needs to draw her own conclusions. I can't impart my feelings of school onto her. I should just let her go to school. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That's actually really smart. We get these kids are kind of bullying some other guy and like making his backpack from ha. Then we get like these hall monitor dudes with upside down faces. Like their masks are upside down. I don't know, it's supposed to be scary. It's freaking weird. They're like, I really smell trouble. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, that's just like a thing. And they got the vaudeville hooks. Exit stage left. So they have these little hooks and they grab you and take you to detention. I'm thinking, where the hell were these guys? But they explain it. Guys, and even Lucy's like, whoa, those dudes are new. He's like, yeah, after everything that happened last time we were here, they like brought these dudes in and they can literally smell trouble. That's, whatever. So he's like, oh yeah, we got to get going. Oh yeah, because these dudes can smell that something bad's going to go down because Lucy's not supposed to be here. He bumps into Molyneux. Matt bumps into Matthew here, and oh, President, you should watch where you're going. Things can be you don't want to damage your crown, and but he brought Luce. He's like, oh, this is our human, and of course he doesn't believe it or whatever. This looks just like a regular witchling to me. Then she does her like, haha, reveals her ears, and he's like, damn, it's a real human. As soon as she sees my fake little human things, I'm found out. I'm done. It's over. But gonna see a club today, and then basically he's ruined. He runs off and he's like, I don't know what to do. I can't let them find me out. He finds one of the wanted posters and he's like, he's going to set him up. I'm like, what a jerk. Ida showing some great, mentorship here, being a good teacher. And even though she's not actually teaching Luce, she's doing what's best for her. She's going to go enroll her in school, or at least try to get the ban lifted because it would be what's best for Luce. I'm like, that was pretty cool of Ida to even attempt this. They're walking around the school, Luce and Gus, and they're just like, oh, look at these trophies. Oh, let's get going. We need to go back to the club room. They run into that one teacher, the abomination teacher, and he doesn't recognize Luce. But how could you forget the only human in the whole school? But he's like, oh, wait, we'll take you on that tour. So he's basically keeps running into all these problems because if he would have just told the truth, he wouldn't have any of these issues. Ida, the best part of the whole show, this episode, is Ida. She's in the principal's office. She's like, it's been a long time since I've been here. Just kicking her feet up on the table, just being that bad student that she always been. I like how the principal's like, yeah, whatever. Like, you just get your feet off my freaking desk. And she's like, hey, I want to enroll Luce, and I know everything's going to be bad. And you're not going to like my idea. And he's like, no, that's actually pretty cool. Then she continues on, oh, I know you wouldn't agree with me. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it would be beneficial to have an exchange student who's an actual human being. And then she can learn from us and we'll learn from her. I'm like, oh, that's actually really cool. And Ida's going to go through with it. So but he's like, first things first, we got to take care of some business. He pulls out like this giant file. And I'm thinking, oh, is this all the things she's did? But what does that have to do with anything? She thinks, oh, that's from that incident? He's like, no, I don't care what Luce did. We'll handle that, whatever. But these are all the things you did wrong. And I want, basically go over like her permanent record. Idolin Clawthorn, what is she? They used a fantasy name generator. It's so generic. But he's like, hey, we're going to go through everything you've done and we're going to, fix it, I guess, or make it better. I'm like, well, when's the last time she was in school? How old is Ida? How old is this freaking principal? I'm assuming this looks like it's a junior high because everyone is under 14 years old, because I guess Willow and them are like, they moved up ranks, I guess, but I don't know. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of a funny subplot. We get a basketball game, but it's not really basketball. It's like a Griffin grabs you, so you're the ball. Like, why would you do this game? I actually think this girl has a really cute character design. I like the gray hair and then the brown undercut. It looks really, really cool. I thought she's a pretty unique looking character for a side character anyways. But they're like watching this game, and I don't even know how it's played. I guess the Griffins are playing and not the actual students. But those sniffy bad, I smell trouble. Oh, let's get going. Let's show you some other places. And I guess this is the plant room for the people who are on the plant track. Willow's in there, and little gags here. Hey, remember Little Shop of Horrors? Move on. Nothing really important's happening there. We get to the illusion school track, and these aren't illusions. I guess this first part's an illusion. Like, oh, she made her. We get the twins. I forget their names, but Amity's older siblings, and I guess everyone just is in the same class together. It's super weird. I want to know how this all works. So no matter what your age, you all work on the same. If you're in the same track, you're just in the same classroom. Whatever. So she makes her legs super long. The brother makes like his face look different, and these aren't illusions. I guess those technically are, but if they're actually physically there, it's not an illusion anymore. Because this girl tries to do something and it makes her face disappear and she couldn't breathe. So it wasn't fake. She literally made her face disappear. That's not an illusion.
My time. The illusion track homeroom.
Illusions aren't really there. Gus does a spell towards the end of the episode that would be an illusion. He does the clone jutsu, but those are fake things because they could just pop and they're just like smoke. But this right here with the face disappearing wasn't an illusion, unless the illusion was so good it made you believe you couldn't breathe. But we're talking like that's an insane level of magic. So this is an illusion, whatever. Then we see another Gus, and I'm like, what the heck? So he made a illusion of himself that would take notes for him. This is pretty insanely powerful to have, and it thinks for itself because it's taking notes, but he just wrote down, haha, I'm not paying attention. So all the notes that he was supposed to be taking, he isn't. It's funny. It's a funny gag, but it's kind of ridiculous to think that you can make such a clone that can be so in depth. I can understand you make a clone that can like walk and maybe do some simple actions, but to listen, pay attention, and write notes. But even he says, oh, he doesn't listen all the time. I guess Gus is a little bit of a prodigy, but there doesn't seem to be, I don't quite understand the levels of magic here. Is this something really powerful and great, or is this something that everyone can do? I don't know. But I guess it's time to go to the classroom, and she's going to show off Lou. So they get to the HAS, Human Association, a Human Appreciation Society, and the other students like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see the human. They bring her in, and then she does like a little kind of moonwalk thing. Lucy's an idiot, but we love her because she's so stupid. That's why we love her.
Human Appreciation Society. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you, Luce the Human.
She's boom, he takes off, and oh my god, it's a human. Oh, that's so great. Oh, come, please verify these items for us. And then she's about to do it. And then this is what I was talking about, the subverting my expectation. He's like, stop, don't do it. All these things are fake. Like he just comes out, Matt here comes clean. I'm like, oh, interesting. He's like, yeah, I'm new in school and I didn't make any friends. And I did this because if I did this cool thing, you'd think I was cool and then you would accept me. And I'm like, whoa, wonder where they're going with this, because he seemed like such a jerk, and then he was trying to get Luce in trouble, but I thought maybe he had a change of heart. I would have really liked it if he would have just done this, and then he still has that little bit of animosity, but he learned that, his other plan, which is really dumb, because after this, why would they vote him in? Like, why would they do that? I can understand other people, getting Luce in trouble and everything makes sense, but why would these other students kick out Gus? Like, why would they do that? Because he lied? I don't think they would care. But he basically does the whole, like, I'm so sorry and everything, and they forgive him because, like, they should. He's like, oh, it's fine. We're all been the new student once in a while, and, we accept you. You got a family with us, kind of like our group. We can be your friends. Oh, it's really nice. While funny, this makes absolutely no sense, unless only a few years passed. I don't know. So Ida has to right all her wrongs. So I guess she did a bunch of graffiti, like, on the some lockers. It's just they haven't cleaned it yet. Again, I assume Ida's like in her 30s, so she hasn't been in school in 25 years. So this graffiti's been on here all this time, or it's such a powerful spell that they can't get it to go away. The joke's funny because like the graffiti moves around and everything while she's trying to clean it, and then like it's like, no, mother, don't erase us. So the spell's sentient and it knows it's her. It's a great gag, but it makes no sense why it's still there. They just left it there for 20 plus years. Unless Ida's like only in her 20s and she just so happens to have gray hair and act like an older woman and sound like an older woman. Get back to the club and everyone's cool. Like, oh, wow, the human was here. They're all best friends. And I'm like, wow, I wonder where this is going to actually go. No, he betrayed them. Here's the human. She's been banned from the school. Here she is. But how does this get him to become the leader of this little society of human thingies, whatever? But she's like, oh, no, everything's fine. The ban's been lifted. But, of course, it hasn't because he's a liar. Luce is going to detention. Okay. What's his face? Like, who's the liar now? But what's that have to do with anything? Like, yeah, Luce gets in trouble, but that doesn't do nothing to Gus. Nothing happens to Gus. I don't get what his issue is here. I like how Willow's like, oh, maybe things are working out just fine. Then she sees Luce getting dragged to the hall. She's like, oh, crap. She's getting thrown in detention. But, of course, everything in this world, it's way over the top because Luce's like, oh, detention, that doesn't sound so bad. But, like, it's like this giant demon mouth door. I'm like, okay, jeez. So this place, detention is not a good place. We get back to Matt and Gus, and they're like, oh, you thought you believed my little have no friends? Ha ha ha. I don't want friends. I want power. How is being the leader of this stupid after-school club have any power? Like, I guess over those 3 other members, but to what end? This is so silly. So he's like, oh, I know. What are you going to do about it? And I'm like, oh, he's going to punch him. That would have been awesome. But I guess he pulls the fire alarm and gets them both in trouble. So I guess that was the framing of the something gained, someone framed. So they both get thrown in detention. Shouldn't there be some teachers to supervise this whole detention thing? But okay, whatever. They get thrown in the room, and then you see rooms all like scratched up and everything. Oh, there must be a monster or something in here. Luke's like, what the heck is up with this freaking detention? Gus like, I've never been in detention. I don't even know how this works. This giant mouth opens up.
You said the ban was lifted. Well,
And it eats you and it puts you like in these little stasis bubbles. That's how they kind of like reform you. I'm like, oh my goodness, this detention is like way crazy over the top, especially for something so, I don't know, she was banned from the school. Wouldn't they just throw her out? Why would they? You can't put a kid in detention who's not enrolled in the school. They would just kick her out. Again, just for the gag. So this monster's in there, is gonna get him. Ida's still working on the thing. I guess she got all the ghosts out of the girls' changing room. So all the things that she's done, they've never fixed. So she's doing that. Then, the principal's like, hey, you ready to give up? We can just stop. Who cares? But she sees these 2 witches and she's like, hey, no, it's like this. And she like shows her how to do a spell. Oh, friendship's the real magic. Damn straight. Twilight Sparkle had it right the whole time. Friendship is magic. And then she's like, oh, geez, it's so gross. She'll love it here. Of course, because Luce likes this whole, like, everyone's weird, everyone's magic, and then she's cool now because she's the human. Bring it on. What else do we have next? And then he pulls out a plunger, and I just love that look at Ida's face. Like, she has that smile, but she says that, oh, damn it, I don't like this.
Just as bad as Luce. She'd love it here. All right. What's next, Bumpikins?
But she's doing it for Luce. I'm like, wow, she's really going out on a limb for her, and I kind of like that. But she's mucking it all up by sneaking into the school, but unbeknownst to her. So this thing eats you and puts you in stasis. And like, what are we going to do? And I guess this Matt kid's like, oh, I've been in detention all the time. The first thing we got to do is, and then it just grabs him. Like this giant scary face comes out, grabs him and pulls him in. I'm like, oh, I guess he's no help. And then it puts you like in that stasis lock. Luce is like, why did you lie to me? Why did you do that? And then Gus has his like, oh, I moved up a few grades. I'm younger than everyone. Everyone forgets about me. They don't pay attention to me. But when I was the leader, the president of this club, people paid attention to me. I felt like I had a place and a purpose. And, he does the whole confession thing. Luce forgives him, but I just wish he didn't freaking lie to me. I guess his whole thing was, it's admirable. He's like, people overlooked me and left me behind. But when I'm president, I will make sure no one gets left behind. I'm like, oh, that was really sweet. So they're like, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure no one gets left behind. So he's going to go save this Matt kid. He just jumps down there, not even really knowing what to do. And he just pulls Luce along. I'm like, wow, she could have like broke her ankle, whatever. So they jump down there and Luce is a crazy girl. This is why we love her. She just straight up bites this thing and tries to like tear it open with her teeth. And she's like, oh, it didn't taste as bad as I thought it would.
You will be a good student.
I will be a good student.
You know, it didn't taste as bad as I thought it would.
But he's like, oh, use some magic, you know, but he like, just pops it. He's able to cut it open with a paper clip that isn't sharp to begin with, so she couldn't pop it with her teeth, but a paper clip can. Okay, whatever. They get him out, and he's like, oh, am I a good boy now? Because I guess it's like like it's trying to reform him when you're in the stasis pod. So they don't save these other kids, they just save him. I thought they were going to try to save everyone. Lucius picks him up, and she even mentions, like, oh, wow, he's tiny, like he doesn't weigh anything. But I thought Lucius was weak. Again, I'm going to bring it up every single freaking time that when she does things that are for strong people, and she's able to pick him up, even though she couldn't turn the lever in the first episode. Okay, whatever. She just lifts him up, and they're going to get out, but those worm things are coming after them. So they're jumping out of there. He's using his magic, which this is an actual illusion. He does his shadow clone jutsu, makes a bunch of them. So these worms are distracted. They don't know what to go after. And every time they go to capture one, it just poofs into smoke because it's an illusion. This is the only actual illusion of the illusion school. Gus grabs a big bone. Okay, I got a bone to pick with you. They bounce their way up to the top, and I guess they're going to have to batter ram the freaking thing. Luce does this little kick move thing. Okay, it's odd looking, but they're going to have to break down the door. So they both grab the bone, and again, remember, they're weaklings, but they're strong enough to do this. Willow was going to get them out of detention. So she's like opening the door, but they're already smashing their way through. Boom, they bust their way out. And who happens to be walking by? Ida and the principal. And the principal's like, wow, Ida, I can't believe you did all this. You're welcome in the school. We'll enroll Luce next semester. And yeah, thank you. And she even brings up, like, hey, you're not going to tell the high council about this, right? He's like, no, you're safe here. I guess they're independent, but she's a criminal. I don't know. Things like that, I'm glad she brought it up, and then he explained that he wasn't going to do it, but why not? Like, there's no reason why he wouldn't. I guess he's doing her a favor. But they shake hands on it, but they bust out the door, and they're able to break this door down with just a bone. They didn't even use any magic. Like, if he would have used one of those power stamps from the Building Constructors Guild, and then they gave him the strength to break it down. But a 14-year-old girl and what's probably a 10-year-old boy were able to smash this door into nothingness. What's it made out of? Balsa wood? Whatever. And then Ida's like, hey, you're in class. But I guess he's like, what the heck? I like how the worm guy has like a normal voice. And he's like, oh, he basically tells him to go away. And then he's like, we're not going to let you in the school now. How could I think anyone who came with you from Ida is going to be nothing but trouble? Forget it. You're not in the school. And Ida went through all this trouble. And he's like, fine, whatever, we're going. I'm glad but not glad that she didn't scold Luce for this. But she went through so much for her without even knowing, and it was all for nothing. She got kicked out of the school. This part I love. Taking responsibility is a lesson that children should have. Gus is like, no, principal, I am sorry. It's my fault. I brought her here. I lied to her saying that she could come back with no ban. And I know what I did was wrong, but I accept the punishment. He's like, okay, Gus, if you're willing to take the punishment I was going to give to her, if you're willing to take it, then, then Luce is freed from her punishment. And Gus takes it. Good on you, man. You did the right thing, little dude. And I hope it's a bad punishment. I don't know anything physically harmful for him, but you made a bad mistake, a horrible decision, and he's going to there has to be some repercussions for it. And then Ida's like, damn, kid, that was, like very noble of you. So Luce is in school. Super cool. This is funny. This whole little part's funny. She still hates this idea of this whole one coven thing. She's like, I know you're smart enough not to fall for that, but come here, learn some things, teach them some stuff, like have a good time in school. And I guess he's been kicked out of the Human Appreciation Society. That was like I don't know if that's his whole punishment, but that other kid, Matt's like, oh, does that mean I'm president? Yeah, whatever. Gives him the credit, throws it at him, kind of blunks him in the head.
So as of now, I'm removing you from the Human Appreciation Society.
Does that make me president?
Impressive. Still alive. Yes, I suppose you are.
But okay, we had bad decision making, and then we have consequences. But now Luce can be enrolled. Pretty cool. And then Willow's like, oh, I'll show you the plant room and everything, and they all go running off together. So I like that. All that stuff in the middle. And this is what I said was the best part of the episode. But here's the list of all the things that Ida did. And so like the ghosts in the girls' changing room, and there it is. And there's Ida. She had red hair. Interesting. Redheads are crazy, right? But they're awesome at the same exact time. At 1300 hours, It should say approximately at police reports. Okay. At 1300 hours, Edwin Clawthorne of the potions track let loose a pack of feral ghosts in the girls' locker room. They flew around in circles, predicting students' doom and shouting out horrible puns like, "What's the ghost's favorite pie? Blueberry." We called it a ragtag team of ghost blasters, Ghostbusters, to clean them out, but they accidentally opened a door to the ghost dimension in which threatened to overtake the city. Again, we got a Ghostbusters reference. So they just left them in there? Okay. Here's our next one. Incident 3421. At 1200 hours, Eldrin Clawthorne released an army of abominations to start a food fight in the cafeteria after her sister Lilith's lunch money was stolen. See, I rather watch this show. The abominations then gained sentience and revolted against Eldrin, so I guess she lost control of them, but this shows you how incredibly powerful she was. And I like the idea she was in potions. Forming into one giant abomination and taking over the school. Jeez, Eldrin and Lilith and the thief had to form a unlikely alliance to stop a giant abomination from destroying Hexside. So I want to know who this thief guy is. Again, there's a lot of story here. That's pretty cool. Incident 9677. At 900 hours, Edwin Clawthorne hexed the school bell to sing a famous pop song, "Since You've Been Conned." Since You've Been Gone. Oh, jeez. It lasted for 5 hours, could only be stopped by pitting the school bells against each other in a fight over who's better band. Babies to Boys or 2 Seconds to New York. Oh my goodness, these puns are ridiculous. It was a horrible day, but no one was allowed to go home early. Well, you think they should have just shut the school down. Whatever. Incident 6101. 6101. At 1400 hours, Eldrin Clawthorne was at it again. This time she found 2 giant bug things that really just tore up the place. That's how I write a report. Oh man, I'm getting so tired of writing these things, and now I'm just writing down what I'm thinking. Oh, I hope no one actually reads these. Ha ha ha. I should take the day off. It's been years since my overlords let me take a day off. So was this the principal writing these? Or like the dean or something? Okay. Incident 7662. At 1100 hours, Eldrin Clawthorne let the school griffin out of its pen and fed it spicy snacks until it vomited all over Grudby Field. Instead of cleaning it up, I ate a donut. So is this him or... My friends were always telling me I should practice self-care more often, and you know what? Why not? I deserve it. So the person was supposed to clean up didn't, and he just ate a donut instead. Okay, whatever. And then, she was just reminiscing over all her past stuff. And then Les's like, yeah, you were a really bad student. But Ida was super crazy cute with red hair. Unbelievably cute. And so how old is she? Can someone tell me that? I'm assuming she's in her 40s, but they left all those things there all these years. They never were able to fix it. Okay. Did I come to a conclusion if I like this episode? I like this little ending. I like how Gus took responsibility. But all the setup just didn't work for me. Just an okay episode. I give it a 7. It's a C. It's better than average because I do like the lessons that we learned at the end. I do like this whole, all the incident reports are really funny. But it's not great either. Glad Luz is going to school. Maybe she can learn some stuff. And then it's going to become of a school thing. And what was the whole point of becoming her protege? Never to teach her anything? Just go to school? Like, she could have... whatever. Hopefully we get... now she's going to be in a school setting. They said next semester, so I don't know if it starts right away. But I guess it's going to become Magic School, the show. And I thought maybe it should have been about Ida teaching her separate from the school. But whatever. Just okay.
But that's my beef. Does she need to draw her own conclusions?
My beef is insects! They're what I eat!
You're just gonna be unhelpful, huh?
All I know is, you taught me, and I turned out just fine!
Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.